Да. О, спасибо. Да благословят боги твое доброе сердце.
Live another day.
That's enough out of you.
Die. Some sooner than others.
Who's there?
Healed or die?
That'll
Did
teach
not
you.
know who they were messing with.
Who's there?
My future is brighter than yours, I think. You are already dead.
Done. Done.
You swim like a fish. Look at you, splashing about.
Вечер добрый.
Who's there?
Я раздавлю тебя как муху.
I have your back, my friend.
Да. Я.
If that is your best, you are in big trouble.
Are you alright?
Learn from this.
Are you alright?
Taking a bath?
Эй, поосторожней!
Oh. Sorry.
I am in your way. I am sorry.
We are keeping fit.
Somehow, I don't think we'll be hearing the bards sing about this battle. And they're dead.
Тут кто-нибудь есть? Тут кто-нибудь есть?
Done and done.
Талос всемогущий, Талос непогрешимый, Талос неоспоримый. Восславляем тебя! Мы жалкие черви, ползающие
You
в
lead,
грязи
I'll
нашего
follow.
разврата.
Victory is
Stronger
ours.
with
I've
each
always
fight.
wanted to say that.
At least I like to think so.
Right, that's one less thing to worry about.
Any fool knows that resistance to magic is not the same as warding it. You can feel the flame licking against your skin. Pinch it like a
Как
feather.
будто в Скайриме и без того чужаков мало.
Welcome to Eldar's Junk
Теперь у нас еще и
Emporium, traveler.
наемники из
I'll take any
Хаммерфелла
junk you find on your
шляются.
travels for a... That's right, a flat fee of 20 gold for taking your junk off your hands. I'll also take any item... Now, you can hand over any items to me, or... So drop what you can, take what you must! That's our motto here at Eldar's Junk Emporium. Why? Are you trying to muscle in on my business? Is that what you call yourselves? I like to call you my pack mules. Now, do you have any questions? Why, sell it, of course. The idea came to me when it was... I was desperate for coin, and I decided to sell a set of antique silverware that I kept hidden away in an old sack. It was a family heirloom, and I was loath to part with it, but it was the only thing in my possession worth a bloody septum. I rolled them up in an old cloth and went to Belethor to get them appraised. Only when I placed the set on the counter, I noticed there was an old wooden spoon lumped in with the silverware. I chuckled, of course, and was about to slide the spoon into my tunic when Belethor asked me, how much? And I asked him, and the fool said no! The spoon. Indeed. I rushed home and I picked up every worthless trinket, every old rag, piece of lint, and... Now, he didn't buy everything, of course, but he bought enough to where I didn't have to sell the silverware. More importantly, I had stumbled upon... If people are willing to buy all the crap most of us throw away, then imagine the profits to be had by collecting it. Indeed. I found people are willing to pay you gold to take... Most of them are travelers who come out of the cave with more loot than they can carry, only to find it's still a 3-hour walk to White. I'm in the business of greed and fatigue, traveler. The greed makes them pick up, and that's where I come in. I turn their junk around and sell it to Belethor. Divines only know who purchased them from him. Ah, that is music to my ears, Sirrah. For a truly great idea, such ideas are separated from us like the farms surrounding the city. The great thing, when an idea is a success, everyone assumes he actually did it, when all he really did was stand on. Depends on what you mean. But no, my goal is to buy a house in Whiterun and run my own business, but my motivation is to get a seat at the Jarl's table. When he fired me, I thought of ways to get back at him. Poison his food, bed his wife, burn his crops. In the end, though, it wasn't worth it. None of those things mattered to him, and when all accounts were settled... But if a poor farm... Well, people would think he was the Skyforge the way steam would come out of his ears.
I sometimes have a bad memory. Too much skooma back in the day. Forgive me if I sometimes repeat myself.
Unfortunately, you're right about that, and you have to be a resident to get a seat. I was hoping to save up for a place like Breezeholm, but I don't have the... Then there's the politics. Don't know whose spear you have to polish to get on top of the waiting list, but I imagine it tastes foul going down. Do I look like a dragon slayer? Wait, that came out wrong. Makes it sound like I look like a spear polisher. Worried? You must be mad if you think someone's going to risk the ire of the guard to steal a bunch of dirty bowls and forks. I meant no offense, traveler. But if you'd like to leave your needle and thread in the box, you're a clever one to see that. As you might expect, I can't put anything too valuable in. Now, the guards here will stop the occasional thief so long as I wet their beaks. But if my business attracts hordes of bandits and other... With the money I've earned, I suppose I could open a separate stall in Whiterun for more... But the overhead just doesn't justify the profits. Especially with the Jarl's taxes and everyone else on... Burn books. I found that one out the hard way when even Belethor refused to buy them. Now I've got enough worthless books to fill the library at Winterhold. But I'm still holding out hope the market will turn. Ah, so you're a junk man as well. I know the value of a ruined book. Especially in the winter. They'll work just as... Especially the thick volumes like The Wolf Queen. But some of the rarer books I save for more... discerning buyers. Even with half the... It's a prime location. To the north is empty tundra and giant camps, and the guard station is too close to... To the west, you have Riverwood, where most travel... The mountains loom over the south, peaks which... No... Travelers from the... There are no bandits to alleviate... Their only foe is a shallow incline. Yet it's only when they conquer the hill that they... The entrance, however, is all the way on the other side. Over encumbered, traveler? I can help you with that. Until next time.
Should we get moving?
Need something? Nothing like a batch of fresh junk to brighten my day.
All
Be
right
seeing
then.
you.
Look!
They live no more.
Твой конец уже... А! Watch out for the fire.
The bigger they are, the harder they
Yes, that's the last of
there
them.
remains.
Lucky hit.
Takes care of that.
There you...
Easy.
Тут кто-нибудь есть? Глянь-ка сюда. Да у нас тут...
Тут кто-нибудь есть?
Я покажу, как собрать твою руку.
Если придется, я тебя убью.
Вот что я скажу. Лучше беги, тогда я ударю тебя в
страшно
спину.
From decay to dust.
Тут кто-нибудь есть?
Fools die as they
To
live.
the next battle. Or maybe the next end.
Where Artaeum has gone is a mystery, lost in time and space. Yet the Sigics fear the void. They fear the end.
Я покажу
From
тебе
now, is this
настоящий
your
бой.
Death is
All
a
over
simple
now.
thing
Good
to
riddance, I
grant.
say.
example of skill and grace.
Goodbye.
You're back. What did you find?
Hello, my friend.
Вижу, тебе удалось вернуться в целости. И даже принести книгу. Благодарю. Ладно.
What's on your mind?
Я научу тебя кое-чему, но осторожней с этим знанием.
Погляди.
Farewell.
I really enjoy studying at the college. Thank you for letting me stay here.
Good day, Archmage.
Во имя Шора. Это же... Это звезда Азури.
You're back.
Как
What did you
тебе
find?
попало такое сокровище?
You're back. What did you find?
Greetings, Archmage.
Ankano is dead, and yet the Sijiks take your boon. In the end, you were their pawn. Are you ready to move? How indeed? How does a mage light the hollows of darkness? How does his fire withstand the rain? Time is but another rule meant to be broken. For if God set the mortal boundary, when you wield the power of Etheria, this was my ultimate goal and my lifelong pursuit. The corpse you see before you is evidence of my failure. You have traveled with me this far, worm, and yet you still beg for power that rightful... That is why you are weak. The Elder Way is not open to those who need their hands held. So it is done. And what now, mortal? What will motivate you now that your nemesis is dead? Then you are a fool. You think to Your quest is dead, Dragonborn. It rots in a shallow ditch. The bards are already standing over your coffin, composing your dirge. I am right behind you.
Ready to get moving? Alright then.
So, what do you want to talk about? Okay.
You have something to say? I'm trying to imagine this place in happier times. I guess most of what it was is at the bottom of the sea. Many lives were lost here. I wonder if we will... No, my mind is as empty as a beggar's purse. You want to ask me something? Let us go.
So what now? You go, I'll follow.
Я тебя найду.
Guess that's the last of them.
Easy.
That should take care of them.
And they're dead.
Что это было? Теперь ты в моей власти.
And with each death, we cleanse the world of decay.
Ask people who only drink wine, do you enjoy being in paradise?
Absorbed another one, eh? You are a sucker, my friend, but I still like you.
Ты как? Охотиться любишь?
Вечер
На
добрый.
равнинах вокруг Вайтрана полно добычи. Хм. Доброй охоты.
Good evening.
Заходи, заходи. У нас теплая еда, теплое питье и теплые постели.
Looks like we're here.
Huh?
If you need a drink, just holler.
Oh,
Конечно.
Thanks.
I need more experience if I'm going to run an inn someday.
So I take this as some training then.
Если
Well,
ты
I'll be
ищешь
glad to be one of
наемника,
your
то он
first
перед тобой.
customers.
Нет меча сильнее во всем
So,
Скайриме.
what drinks do you have on the menu?
собутыльник.
Давай по одной.
It's better than anything in the Blue Palace.
You have fine wine? I didn't expect that, but okay. But what do you think?
See, doesn't keep won't give us a discount.
What now? Nothing else then? Oh? What is it? Sure thing. Do you want to have it standing here, or do you... All right. What do you need?
Что тебе нужно, симпатяга?
So you have gained the title of Harbinger. It is empty. The companions are free to do as they wish, and you are master to no one.
Да. Finished?
Приветствую.
I'm glad you're here. I was just thinking about Winterhold. When I was last there, it wasn't so crumbly. It used to be everything being torn down, the whole place. In fact, back in my day, the College of Winterhold would be the first place anyone would go for any kind of magic or historical thing. So, what's on your mind? Sure thing. Do you want to have it standing here? All right. Now, on to the drinks. Do you want to have mead, wine, or just plain milk? Nice. Bit fancy now, aren't we? I don't think you have some of that wine on you, though. Here, I'll help you out. Likewise. Well, this is more of a unique and intimate journey in bed. I was just thinking about the last time we, you know, did it. Besides how powerful you are in combat, you truly are something else in bed. How you manage to have that much stamina and vigor. I don't know, but it keeps me wanting for more. What do you say? Let's go to bed later? I know. I was just thinking about Winterhold. When I was last there, it wasn't everything being in fact, back in my day, the College of So, what do you want to talk about now?
It is nice and warm in here.
Good question. I haven't really thought about that, actually. Do I really? Oh, well, I guess it's because I've always been fascinated about their culture. Silt striders, living in mushroom houses. That, and I also think that these Dunmer words roll off the tongue and are rather amusing to say. All right. So, what do you want to talk about now? Honestly, I think I'm doing better each and every day, thanks to you being there. I mean, Without you rescuing me from that dark pit, I don't know where I'd be today. I've learned to not let the mistakes or what's happened in the past to weigh me down. I acknowledge them and take what I've learned to move on. Alright, so, what do you want to talk about now? Well, there's not much to go on, at least from what I've read. We've had some interactions with them, but that isn't much either. I heard great tales of the Dragon Guard back in my day. That organization later rose to prominence to be known as the Blades, being recognized for extraordinary feats all the way up until the Oblivion Crisis. However, seeing where they are now, scurrying away from the Thalmor like rats, it is rather sad, really. Alright, so, what do you want to talk about? If I know my history right, every great empire has its rise and its fall. We've had the Alessian Empire, Remans, the Septums, and now the Medes, all of which have risen to great prominence, but eventually fell due to a variety of reasons, whether it be inner strife, turmoil, or the rise of another great power like the Dominion. And as this old Merry Dominion rises, it's inevitable that they will fall. As for when, only history will tell. No mortal empire lasts forever. That's just always been the case, really. Alright, so, what do you want to talk about now? Riverwood. It's just nice, really. Sometimes, it's nice to just get away from the bustling cities. A lot of them feel so cramped. The countryside is just different, you know? Alright, so, what do you... Oh, which one? She's nice to be around. I find some parts of her culture a bit weird, but she's overall a good person. Back on the island, I've never really been around religious Bosmer, so I was a bit surprised when I first met her. Like, their whole sacred tree belief thing, as part of the Green Pact. Or fermented pig milk. Not that disgusting, but still. Alright, so... Oh? Which one? Don't get me started with her. Ugh. What is it with her and having just about everything be sexual? Alright, so... Oh? Which one? He's great company, I can tell you that much. Inigo always finds a way to lift our spirits, doesn't he? If there's someone, besides me, to always keep by your side, I think it should be him. Alright, so... Oh? Which one? She's loyal, I can tell you that much. But maybe... I feel she could brighten up a little. With her, it seems like everything is based off of duty. It's like she's never had fun in her life. Alright, so... Oh? Which one? I think we're fine. At least he treats me like a... Can't blame what he thought at first, though. But it turns out you're all not that bad. It's nice spending time like this.
Good to see you.
Just having drinks together.
Как слетела башка его рыжая с плеч.
Hello, friend.
So, what do you want to talk about? That's thoughtful of you. This sure is fit for royalty. So, what's on your mind? I was just looking back at some childhood memories. The more pleasant ones. There was an old jetty where boats would bring supplies to the castle. Once we moved in, it never got used, along with the rest of the castle undercroft. That's why I used to play and hide down there, looking out to the sea, usually when my father was in a bad mood. Peace, quiet, and there was nothing but the crashing of waves and a sweet ocean breeze. However, if you journeyed further into the undercroft and away from the sea, you reached the old water cistern. You wouldn't like to hang around there for too long. On some days, this would smell. Just be glad you weren't there then. So what's next for our adventures? Sure thing. I'm tired.
Работа мне не в тягость. Хорошо, она твоя на день. Если что еще нужно, обращайся.
Ugh. Morning.
Добрый господин. Не найдешь пары лишних сэп?
What is it? Sure. In which... Alright then. Let's begin. So, what's on your mind? It still feels kind of weird, waking up after thousands of years, even at this point. Just thinking about an empire in Cyrodiil.
Can I help you?
I definitely thought everything would end with the Remans.
Presentation, but ideally, I want a balanced meal.
Drink for the thirsty.
So, where are we off to now?
You don't say. I'll have your finest drink then, and a glass of water. Unless, of course, they're the same thing.
Let's sate that appetite, hmm?
All right. I can't say I particularly like wars. Yet another war of succession. At least things didn't get boring while I was gone. When I was locked away, Cyrodiil wasn't even the seat of an empire. And Skyrim... Sometimes it's hard to even fathom how much this world has changed. And what was it? The Oblivion Crisis? I would have never expected the Daedra to invade Tamriel again. I certainly hope Molag Bal doesn't host another plane meld. That would be... dreadful. Thanks. But honestly, I don't think any Daedra would consider invading ever again. They got their hides tanned. Turns out a bunch of Nawaz shouldn't be underestimated. It's a term the Dunmer used to describe mortals. It has a negative connotation, but, well, that's kind of the point of what I was saying. And yes, I've heard stories about the last Septim turning into a dragon to fight Mehrunes Dagon, but Martin Septim couldn't have done it alone. I got reacquainted with the current world as soon as I got back to the castle. Well, at least I know the basics. Not that much, but still. What now? All right. Well, most of the people in your little crew aren't my type, just as I'm probably not theirs. I've heard that a few of their inner circle are werewolves, and my father's views did not exactly win us any friends among Hircine's brood. Well, you get the point. Some things just tend to stick after a couple 100 years. Do you need something? Well, you being a part of a secret death cult is kind of exciting. It's also somewhat ironic, if you think about it. Imagine this on a book cover. The tales of Serana and her charming companion, who was also a stealthy assassin. Something I definitely want to read. Do you need something? I've told you this before. Back before I was, you know, trapped in a coffin for who knows how long. The College of Winterhold used to be my first choice whenever I needed guidance in the arcane arts, a historic reference, or a particularly obscure alchemical manual. Unlike a lot of guilds, this one is actually pretty ancient, as old as I am, if not older. It and Winterhold are in a sorry state right now, though, which wasn't the case before. Did you know that Winterhold used to be a much bigger, bustling city? Well, turns out someone's also a bookworm. Winterhold used to be the capital of Skyrim. For centuries, it has rivaled the most prosperous cities of Skyrim. Early in the First Era, the First Empire of the Nord spanned from Skyrim to Nibelheim Valley. Its last monarch, High King Borgus, came from Winterhold. The circumstances of his death are uncertain, but it did coincide with the Wild Hunt. It's an ancient ritual of the Bosmer, causing them to transform into a horde of feral beasts, kind of like werewolves. Not my thing, but it certainly has its appeal to some. Winterhold then saw even more disputes and conflict, but the city always came out on top. Then, I wake up a few centuries later to find out that everything is just gone. Hey, I'm glad you're here with me. All right. I can't say I don't like your little thieves' crew. They have a certain appeal to them. Every one of them seems to have an interesting story. If I were a betting woman, I'd say most of them are orphans. Or people who, like me, you get what I mean. People who don't necessarily get along with their parents. I think, with time, I could make some friends around here. I get that stealing might be a tricky subject for some, but it isn't for you, right? Why else would you be in this guild? I guess everyone here comes from a ruined family, so they become each other's. Oh? What is it? The moment I met you, I could... Turns out you have the blood of gods coursing through your veins. You should also know that I do not appreciate being shouted at. You probably don't feel it, but just try not to hit me the next time we get into a fight with some people, okay? I definitely wouldn't want to be hurled halfway across the continent of Tamriel. Are you even taking this seriously? I also wouldn't like to accidentally freeze you into a relic. Good. Glad we sorted that one out. Oh? What is it? Oh? What is it? Well, I do admire their fondness for this. I used to read stories and great tales. Especially the daring adventures of Jaik Talonwood. He was a little childhood hero of mine. So what do you say? Would you like to sail the open seas in pursuit of fame and the rarest treasures? Okay, land adventures it is then. Do you need something? Oh, what is it? Yes, I do. Don't tell anyone else, though. Sometime back when I was still mortal, my parents ordered an entire keg of Ultimate Golden Pear wine. And yes, I know my parents were weird, but like any other Nord royalty, they did like their wine. Anyway, what I did next was probably the most stupid and one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. One afternoon, I snuck down into the cellar while everyone was asleep, and I thought, maybe I should have a quick swig of this. And the next thing I knew, I was laying flat on my belly with both my parents yelling at me. I supposedly finished the entire keg. Yes, it was, but getting hungover really isn't.